All right, welcome YouTube to another exciting game of Deaths of Athazar, the greatest card game in the Middle East. And this week we have Malik El Aseeri versus Sultan Al Harbi. Uh, Again, these are two pretty much amateur players that I've introduced the game to. This game was actually played at one of the shisha spots in Dammam. I can't remember the name right now, but if you've ever been to Saudi Arabia, on the Dammam is in the Eastern Province. If you've ever been to the Eastern Province of Saudi Arabia, you know that shisha cafes were banned in the Eastern Province, whereas in places like Jeddah they were pretty much prevalent all over the place. But Dammam, shisha places were pretty much banned in the Eastern Province. But uh, but as part of the King's 2030 initiative, and in an effort to expand Saudi Arabia's economy, the Eastern Province of Dammam, the Eastern Province has allowed Dammam to open its first shisha cafe, and it's actually a very busy spot. The night that we were there was very crowded. Uh, and it was a nice little place. They had like multiple big screen televisions, comfortable chairs, comfortable. Well, you know, in Saudi Arabia, a lot of guys like to sit on the floor, so they had like these huge places where you can sit down on the floor on these big comfortable pillows and smoke shisha and watch the big screen TV. And of course, on the big screen TV was a great game of soccer. Now, I'm not a soccer fan, but uh, but you know, I'm starting to learn to enjoy the game. Uh, Soccer is, you know, one of those games that you know, I try to get into because you know I want to be, you know, respectful of the locals, but yeah, soccer is one of those games that's just it's just too slow for me. Maybe because I just don't understand the game. Maybe if I understood the game a little bit more and played it, maybe it wouldn't be so boring. Well, maybe I wouldn't think it was so boring. But uh, but you know, I'm it's not all boring. They have some exciting moments in the game. But I will say this: I really can't watch a whole game of soccer, but I can watch the highlights. Now the highlights are better. You know, if you would go on YouTube and watch like the soccer game highlights, they're actually pretty exciting to watch because they only take out the best parts of the game. You know, you don't have like these long pauses of where the guys are just running up and down the field. You know, I tried to get some of these guys to watch American football, and they have pretty much the same criticism about American football than I have of soccer. You know, they never really understood why it took so long for the guys to move the ball down the field. But hey, what can you say? You know, every place has their favorite things, and one of the favorite things is Deaths of Athazar card game. All right, and so we're going to take a look at this game between Malik and Sultan, and uh, and this is one of those games where they wasn't really paying attention because they were busy playing the card game and trying to watch the soccer match. All right. So as always, each player was dealt 7 cards. All right, and end of the deal, Malik got a prince, a princess. Basically, in the death of Athazar, what I call a prince and a princess, we call that a marriage. It doesn't really mean anything; it's just a name. They don't have any special powers being together. And then he has a brawler, a magician, a pair of sailors, and a hunter. So, looking at his initial hand, you can see that he's probably going to use the magician to kill off his 2 sailors. It's just a question of um, which cards he's going to pass. Most likely, he's probably passed the hunter over with the brawler uh, because you know you always want to try to pass the weakest cards. And if you have a hunter available, go ahead and pass it if it's available. And Sultan has the renegade, the sailor, the sorcerer, an assassin, a brawler, a prince, and a brawler. So he just has a pair of brawlers. But he also, but again, he has that sorcerer, which could be beneficial to him. Sorcerers are effect cards that allow you to take a extra card from your hand and pass it to your opponent. All right, now the game as always starts with the pass phase. Each player is given the option, is given the opportunity to pass one card to their opponent, and if they have the hunter, they're allowed to pass two. All right. So on the pass, Sultan passes a brawler, and as expected, Malik passed over his brawler hunter. All right. And on the first kill of the day, Sultan decides to use his assassin to kill the brawler, and Malik answers, of course, with the magician killing the two sailors. On the deal, Sultan gets a sailor, giving him a pair of sailors, and Malik gets a sailor. And on the pass, Malik passes the sailor, and Sultan passes the sailor hunter. Basically, he's passing the hunter back over to Malik. I guess trying to equalize the number of cards in the hand. All right, Malik has the brawler kills the sailor, a very basic kill, and Sultan responds with playing the prince, which which forces Malik to take a card from the deck, and he gets the wise man. Again, I think Sultan's main purpose was try to keep the cards equalized, but he could have done the same thing if he actually played the sorcerer. It would have been better. Actually, he'll be down one card to Malik's. So he'll actually have 4 cards to Malik's 5. So remember again, Sultan is a new player, so Malik has played before, but Sultan, this was his first time playing, so I guess he didn't really understand the full power of the cards that's in his hand. But you know, you kind of live and learn. All right, so during the next deal phase, Malik gets Hunter, giving him a pair of hunters, and Sultan gets a hunter as well. All right, they do the pass, and now this was a very unusual move. Malik decides to keep his 2 hunters. I guess because he was going to use that princess as a magician so he can kill off the 2 hunters. So he went ahead and passed the wise man, and Sultan passed him the sailor hunter. And on the play, Sultan had the brawler kill the sailor, and Malik used his princess as a magician to kill off the 2 hunters. All right, so both guys at this point have the same number of cards. Sultan gets the warrior, Malik gets the assassin. They do the pass, and Malik passes over the hunter sailor again. Sultan passes over the wise man. And Malik has the assassin kill the wise man, and Sultan responds with the sorcerer to make sure that Malik doesn't get the advantage. So Sultan played the sorcerer and passed him the renegade. Now it would have been better if he passed the sailor to him. You never want to try to pass a killer card before you pass a weak card like the sailor, because you don't necessarily know what the other guy has in his hand. He could actually have a card that the renegade can kill. All right, so on the pass, on the deal phase, Sultan gets another sailor. Malik gets the magician. They do the pass. And Malik passed over the magician. He felt that maybe his magician wasn't going to be worth anything because he didn't see a pair. But if and Malik, he had to pass the magician because he didn't want to pass because the renegade had a chance to kill a card off, and he didn't want to give Sultan the prince, because if he gave Sultan the prince, that would give Sultan the opportunity to force him to take a card from the deck, giving him an extra card. So, he was pretty much, with the choices he had, I guess the best choice was to pass the magician off. All right, Malik decides to take his renegade and kills the hunter. And Sultan takes the warrior to kill off the magician. I guess he felt, like I said, the magician is one of those cards that when you get down to like one or two cards or down to three cards, the magician is kind of a hard card to use to kill off cards because the chances of you actually getting a pair of similar cards becomes less and less. All right, so on the deal, gets the Jinn, and Sultan gets the assassin. And this was pretty much the game because they did the pass. Sultan gets the sailor, and he ends up winning the game with the assassin killing the sailor. And this is a game where Malik congratulated Sultan on such a good game because this is Sultan's first game, and he gets a win. But I have to say that Malik wasn't really playing the game. He was more so concerned with the soccer game. But so after they played this one game, they went ahead and watched the soccer game, and I went ahead and watched it along with them. And then when the soccer game ended, we played another couple of hands as a three player game, and we end up spending the rest of the night playing the card game. Actually, a few other guys came over to the table to see what we were playing, and I introduced them to the game as well. Um, Although I didn't document their games, hopefully by the next time we go to the shisha place, we'll get a couple of guys, some more guys to agree to play on camera, and hopefully, spread the word that Death of Athazar is a card game that was created right here in Saudi Arabia, and hope to get more support from people in the area to spread the word. And you can help spread the word by click, comment, or subscribe to our channel. And we will see you next time.